Hello, hello. The only way you're seeing this is if you chose to support the podcast on Patreon. At the risk of being repetitive, I will never not be grateful to you for doing that. I can't imagine any of these updates will ever begin any other way than me saying thank you to everyone for helping me do this. It was pretty surreal watching how fast people signed up as soon as the page went public. People have been telling me for months that they love the show and everything, but literally, talk is cheap. Those of you who signed up for this right away are especially important because it lets other people checking it out see, okay, this is something everyone is doing, it's a legitimate thing, etc. One last time, I won't forget it. Thank you. But all right, you want updates. Yesterday was the deadline to get questions in for the Q&A episode, so my main focus is still on wrapping up those loose ends from season 1. There were a lot of questions sent in. Many of them will require some additional research to present the answer they deserve, and I only gave myself a week to do that research, craft the answers, get it all edited and typed up and everything. Not complaining, I'll definitely get it done, but if we do another Q&A episode for season 2, then I'll need to tweak some things, especially since it's safe to assume there will be many more people listening by then. I didn't take a lot of things into consideration. Volume-wise, the questions from people who like the show far outweigh the number of questions from people who do not care for it. I doubt many of the people who will get mad at me for something I said will be sticking around to listen to a Q&A episode. I did say I'd try to answer every question, and I certainly will, but I don't intend to spend too much time or energy focused on any sort of argument. Like I said, though, almost entirely positive stuff from listeners interested to know a little bit more about the people, places, and things they heard me talk about. Should be fun. I figure most of you are probably already following me on Facebook or Twitter, but if you aren't, or if you missed my post about it, I have recently done a couple of interviews that may interest you. There's one I did by email with Tara at The Daily Country, one by phone with Bobby Jean at Wide Open Country. And you can actually listen to the whole conversation I had with Mike Rogers on his podcast about Nashville. That last one is around an hour and a half of us talking, and I think I prefer the thought of just putting the entire conversation out into the world like that. As you'll hear in that podcast, talking to me is pretty all over the place and rambling, which often doesn't convert well to transcript, in my opinion, especially when some of the context gets edited out, which it always does. So I think I'd like to do more podcast appearances in the future. There are a few more interviews and podcasts in the can, but they haven't come out, so I don't think I should talk about that yet. I know what you really want to hear about is season 2, but like I said, I'm still focused on this Q&A episode for season 1. I have to make sure that's as good as it can be, and really that's what I'm going to get back to doing as soon as I finish this. Besides, I need something to tell you about in next month's update post, so hey, I'll see you then. Oh, and for those of you watching, I haven't figured out how you're supposed to leave a comment yet, but I should be able to explain it in the caption for the video post on Patreon. If you can't leave a comment right on the Patreon post, then I may have to upload the video privately to YouTube, and we'll use the comments over there. I don't know, we'll figure it out. And you don't have to leave a comment if you don't want to. I'm thrilled you're supporting the podcast at this level, so do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay, until next time. Bye-bye.